Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here. Welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here and I am glad to be here. Are you? Are you? Today I'm grateful for reminders. Reminders that gratitude is far more important than rivalry. Sometimes the most meaningful wins don't show up on any scoreboard. How many of you watched the World Series? The whole world watched the World Series. It was the largest attendance ever. And what is everybody saying? I mean, I'm talking about people that played the game, broadcast the game, played baseball their whole lives, whatever, are saying that's the best World Series they've ever watched. 18 innings in one game, controversy over different calls, but yet still enjoyable. And what was your biggest takeaway? Can I share mine? During the World Series, Dodger relief pitcher Alex Vesia, he was number 51, stepped away from the team because of what was announced as a family emergency. And that's all that was announced. Family emergency. Nobody knew what it was. People were guessing because his wife was pregnant that something happened. Well, later, Alex and his wife Kayla shared the heartbreaking news. Yeah, their newborn daughter, Sterling Soul, had passed away. But you know what happened next? Unannounced and independently, players both from the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, they're the opponents in the game, right? Fighting for the championship. They took the field with the number 51 written on their caps. How cool is that? No press release, no camera moment, just quiet compassion. It's as if for one sacred inning, the world paused for humanity. For a moment, arrows out, others replaced arrows in. And that simple act of empathy or compassion was more than a tribute. Well, it was being in gratitude, rippling. That's what I call big R. And ripple's a verb because when we're being in gratitude, it never stays contained. It moves, it flows. It sends ripples of compassion, humility, unity, far beyond what any of us can see. And it'll continue for a long time. See, those players didn't just honor a teammate. Yes, they did. But in doing so, they reminded us of what gratitude looks like when it moves. I think about a little child. If they don't get their way, so they didn't get an ice cream cone or whatever it may be, they might cry out, I hate you, mommy. But 5 minutes later, they're back in her arms saying, I love you, mommy. Because a child would rather be what? He'd rather be happy than right. And somewhere along the way, though, we were all in that mindset. But then many of us forget that. We grow up, we pick sides, and we start defending our opinions as if being right mattered more than being kind or compassionate or loving. But when tragedy or empathy touches us deeply, when life stops the game, we remember what matters most. Not who's winning, but how we showed up. Maybe we can't silence all the noise in the world, but we can pause, like those teams did, and we can let gratitude ripple before we react. So we call green R. Red R is to react without gratitude. Boom, boom. Green R is to respond with a pause and gratitude. And that's where it brought them in that moment. That's how we replace contempt with connection. That's how we begin to heal what feels divided. So here's the empowering question for this week. Where in my life could I let gratitude ripple instead of needing to be right? Contempt divides, gratitude connects. And when gratitude moves, humanity wins. Think of this World Series. Think of that special moment. Let's make life meaningful. Make this week meaningful. I look forward to touching bases with you. Connecting with you next week. Have a meaningful week. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.